I don't have the luxury of relying on, oh, I don't feel like it. I'm not in the mood today. Let me not go. No, this is non-negotiable because every time I show up and complete it, whether it's this workout, going to jujitsu, making sure I show up for real estate, doing what I need to do, whatever business ventures I got going on and working towards, whatever my goals are, right? I'm not going to go down the whole list of explain, but whatever my goal and what I see the 1 year plan out, 3 years, 5 years, every time I show up and make the commitment to complete whatever the action might be, that gets me one step closer. That gives me another confirmation that I'm capable. It gives me another confirmation that that goal that I want, I do want it. That goal that I'm striving for, yes, I'm doing what's necessary to get me there. I'm going to get there. A lot of times, even adding on to the confirmation, it's making sure, sometimes it's giving me that energy in my back. It's giving me that boost of power. I don't look for external motivation, like I said, and I tell you guys, look for it internally, look for that inspiration, look for self-drive, self-motivation. When I can come in here knowing I didn't want to be here, I'm complaining as I'm opening the gym door. But once it's time to get under that bar, once it's time to complete the cardio, all that goes out the window. That's giving me that boost that I can count on myself. That's giving me that inspiration that, okay, you can make this happen. You can do it. And you know what? You don't need external forces or factors to get you there, to push you, to get you there. And that's what I want to leave with in this video, that you have to be able to count on yourself. And you have to create scenarios that you show up for yourself, you are tested. But also create scenarios that, hey, if you do want to work on this, work on that, you do want to get to the gym, you do want to work on the business plan, make it easier on yourself. Create an environment, create a situation that it gets you to that point that you can put in extra 30 minutes, put in the hour. Everyone talks about they don't have enough time and, the time. I can create excuses that there's not enough time because there's always something that needs to be done when it comes to real estate. There's always something, there's always a property I can research, there's always a lender I can call, there's always something to be done. Yes, there's also other things that needs to get done as well, and I have to now make sure I make it easy on myself to get everything done. So if it's the workout, for example, people talk about, hey, I can't get to my workout. Well, make it easier on yourself. Maybe you do need to get up early. And to make it easier on yourself, you need to go to bed early. Hey, you know what? Maybe you need to start carving out some days during the week where, hey, whatever you used to do at 8, 9 o'clock, well, you know what? On Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's over because you got to get under the covers. I'm just creating examples. Make it easy. Make it easy that the goal is attainable. Make it easy that when you try to decide and justify not doing or not going, you're going to snap out of it like, wait, why wouldn't I do it? Create the scenario. That's why I tell people, go work out in the morning. Before the phone starts to ring and messages are going off, nothing's happening at 6 a.m., 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you need to make the sacrifice. If that's the only time and you truly want to do it, well, then make the sacrifice. It's about making the sacrifice. This gym, these workouts, jujitsu, it's not the surface level of, because we're here to get swole. Anytime I talk to someone who owns a business, big dogs, like big business, doing big money, big capital, and they work out, they're getting into working out. They're not solely talking about because they want to get jacked and be in shape. That's a byproduct of it, obviously. See, that's the obvious thing that's going to happen. If you put in the work with the workouts, you're doing your numbers with the macros, well, the byproduct of that is you're going to get in better shape, which in turn is going to give you better confidence, which in turn is going to allow you to move and operate in a certain way when you go into different rooms or you're trying to conduct different things. Do you see how it starts to spill over? So when I speak to people who do the mastermind groups, I know a couple guys go to masterminds and paying 10, 15 grand for these masterminds. they are huge on working out. They're really big on actually jujitsu. A lot of these people who go to masterminds, they always tell me now jujitsu is a big thing, but working out has always just been a staple. But they're using it for not just to get in shape. They're using it because of what you can extract from it. That is I'm telling you, it is such a big game changer. When you can start extracting the lessons, start extracting the characteristics from having a non-negotiable thing that you do and commit to it. And doing something that's really hard for a lot of people. Once you do that and you see that you're showing up, it builds up it's like you're building up a checking account, building up an account that you have receipts, you have proof that, hey, I can do this. That's what this is for me. That's what this is for. It's not about, like I said, I'm coming in here because I want to start getting 405 for reps. That's going to happen. I know what happens when I finish this workout every time. I know what happens when I never break the promise to myself. I know what happens when I show up, because I had to show up for me for so many different times in the majority of my life. I had to show up because me running back home, there's no one there. There's no one there for me to lean on. So why I'm so big on being capable, why I scream and talk about these videos, be self-reliant, capable, self-motivation, self-drive. Why do you think I'm always talking about that so much? Because not even you, I'm speaking from my experience and my journey. I had to develop it and rely on myself. It wasn't an option. It was non-negotiable, just like this workout is non-negotiable. I had to build up a certain level, a certain character, a certain characteristic traits that I can count on me. I believe in me, because there was no one else around. And now it's become just a part of, who I am and what has gotten me and been pushing me forward. Because I know I can count on myself. I know what I'm capable of. And I also know when I'm screwing up. I also know when, I'm not putting in that work. I know when I'm not putting in the work. I know when the tires are spinning. And I also know when other people are not really putting in the work. And I know when they're just spinning tires and they're telling me that they are. So this is why it's significant. That's why this is the feeling that I have when I walk in, and this is how I'm feeling when I'm walking out. But it has to be like this. It has to be. So I want to leave you guys with that. Let me get out of here. We got more on the way. Let's go.